Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Around We Go. Now, when you see the actual grid in a minute, you're going to immediately jump to the conclusion this is almost like a merry-go-round puzzle. Kind of taking a look at it, I'm thinking, yeah, it's a natural conclusion if you don't spend a bit of time looking at it. So, yeah, I'm sticking with the thumbnail design that I went for. Now, I have no idea why Sleuth is on a merry-go-round. I appreciate why, infants, toddlers might enjoy it. Infants is maybe pushing it. Toddlers and I'm not even sure preteens would. But yeah, personally, I don't get them. They look very dull. I admit they're not necessarily designed for somebody in my age group. Although me, my friends, we never really grow up. We did, when we were together on the graduate program in the firm that we joined, we did take our time to go to Six Flags and spend the day there, going around rides. In our 20s, mind you. Anyhow, enough of all of that. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets. Around we go by FullDeck and Missing a few cards. We know that we're always going to be in for a good time when we see those two names. Standard Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, every 3x3 box. Then we have cages. Digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to the value shown in the upper left corner of the cage. So if this cell was 2, for example, these two cells now need to add up to 8, so that the 8 plus the 2 give us the 10. That could be 3 and 5, for example. That's a valid set of pencil marks for that 10 cage. 24, 7, etc., etc. Thermometers. Digits on a thermometer on Thermos are strictly increasing from the bulb to the tip. So if this cell here was a 3, for example, this would be a 4 or 6. You don't have to necessarily be sequential. You can skip digits. What you cannot do is decrease at any point across this thermometer. That has broken the thermometer and the puzzle. That's all the rules we have for today. So if you're up for the puzzle, even if you don't particularly like merry-go-rounds like myself, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Let's do the easy stuff. This is a 1, 2, 4 cage. 7 in 3 digits, so in 3 cells that are unique, has to be 1, 2, and 4. This is 7, 8, 9, again, forced. This is pretty interesting. Yeah, this is very interesting. Let's see. So the minimum I can make this is, and I'm not even sure I can do that, by the way, but 1, 2, 3, 4, if I can type. And again, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. So clearly can't have the same digit twice. So let's say 4 and 5. That's already at 9. This is a maximum of 2. Minimum of 1, which gives me just 1 degree of freedom with a 6. Can't have a 5, 6 pair in here. That would be 11 on its own, and that would have to be a 0. So there's definitely a 4, meaning that one of these thermometers actually does go 4, 3, 2, 1. 14 cage, much more likely. Let me just disprove the 18 cage. If that's a 1, these two cells add up to 17. It would have to be 8 and 9. Even if I take the minimum of that, that would be 8, 9, 10, 11. That's not going to happen. So that's my 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not the 4. 5 or 6. Still quite low, actually, especially with the 1 in here. So this is a maximum of minimum of 2, 3, 4. With the 6 in here, a maximum of 5, 4, and 3. Still feels quite tight. So 9, 8, 7, 6. So this is a maximum of 6, and therefore this is a 3. 6, 3 gets me a 9, allows me to place a 9 in here. If I put a 2 in there, or a digit lower than 6, well, I would have to put a digit bigger than 9 in here. So that's 9, that's 6, that's 3, that's forced 7, 8, and 9. These are not 9s. This is 4, 5, and 6. That's already 10, that's a 1. Lovely. Let's see if we can keep this merry-go-round going around. So 8 maximum means 7, 6, and 5 maximum. These two cells need to add up 13 plus the 1 to get to 14, so that would be an 8. So maximum 5. 8 is also the maximum, isn't it? Yeah, because of the 9. So I can't go lower than 5, because if I put a 4 in here, I would require a 9, which is not possible. So that is again forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a 7. That's an 8. And what a ride so far. Right, can I do anything with these thermometers at this point? Tempting. You can see 9s are kind of aligning in box 1, and it can't be a 9 that starts a thermometer with 10 and 11. That's a 9. One of these two cells is a 9. One of these two cells is a 9. Just force of habit, just checking if there is something easy. With thermometers, always just keeping an eye out for things like 9s, 1s, extreme digits that you can immediately just eliminate from certain parts of the thermometer. 1s can't be any of these, for example. Can't be this digit. Can't be in here, can't be there. So, it is very restricted. It does line up the 1s in columns 1 and 2, forcing the 1 in here, not this cell. Not the easy stuff compared to what we've done so far, so I am kind of barking up the wrong tree here. 6. Neither of these cells are 6. That's a 6. That leaves me with a 3, 5 pair. And that 3 tells me that's the 3, that's the 5. With 7, 8, and 9 in this box, this is minimum of 4, minimum of 5, maximum of 6, maximum of 5. In fact, there has to be a 6 in one of these two cells because of Sudoku. Should probably take a look at this 10 cage. So 10 in 3 cells is always interesting, because either I have a 1 and 2 cells that add up to 9. 1, 8 is obviously no longer available. 2, 7 is not available. 3, 6 is not available. And 4, 5 is not available. Yeah, so this doesn't include a 1. Therefore, this is a 2, 3, 5 cage. That's if you don't have a 1 in a 3-cell 10 cage, it has to be 2, 3, 5. That 2 is in here. Extract that 5 is in here. This is now a 2, 3 pair. 2, 3 pair. And you've got essentially like a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in row 1, excuse me. This can't be a 2, 3. This is 1 or 4. In fact, 1, 2, 4 triple. That's a 3, that's a 2. 3s are lining up. That has to be a 3. That has to be a 6. This is 4 or 5. This is 5 because of these two cells. Have I done something here? Yeah, that's not a 2. This is another 1, 4. We've got a 1, 4 pair. This is 8, 9. That 8 forces this to be an 8, forces this to be a 9. These 3 cells are known. They're 1, 2, and 4. That's not a 1. Can I do any better here? Kind of. That's not a 4. Not exactly what I'm looking for, though. Interesting, is it? 7. Can't be 6. Can't be 5. But could be 4. Can't be 1. Can't be 2. So this is 3, 4. This is quite restricted. If it is 3, that can be 4. It's not 5 or 6, but it could also be a 7. And not quite again with the triples. 3s are lining up, however. 3 has to be in actually exactly this cell. That's a 3. 4 or 7. Can I do anything to resolve that right now? Not sure. Can we do the same thing with the 6s? Yes. Yes. So, only place for a 6 is in here. 1 is down there. No 1's in here. That means that's 4, that's 2, that's 1. Did I mean to do that? Yeah, that was correct. Sorry. Ones are essentially here in column 1, and just double checking I haven't made some silly mistake. Yes, that's correct. Right, what are we doing next? So in here is 1, 7, and 8. That's not a 1. I am missing 2, 3, and 9. These are not 3s. That's the 3. That's a 2, 9 pair. That can't be a 2, but also it would have been 0 and 1 in here. So that's the 9. That's the 2. 9 gives us like a ton of freedom around what we're doing in here. So not helpful. 2, 5, and 8, I'm going to say. Can't have an 8 in here. Can't have a 2 in here. Can't have a 5 in here because of this 5. But doesn't actually give us a resolution. Right, then we have 1, 4, and 7 in here. Not a 1. I'm going to take a look at this thermometer. I mean, compared to the break-in, I always find it fascinating. And I know I say that every time it happens, when puzzles seem to get harder. But I'm also humble enough to admit that sometimes I just make them look harder. That can only be a 4 in here. Sorry, because these 3 cells are 4, 7, and 6. That was the only place for the 4. 6 is not here. That's 7. That's 6. So the remainder of this, well, no 1's here. 1 is on one of these 2 cells. Not very interesting. 5 is not here. 5 is there. Therefore, 5 is down here. Not there. That's a 5. That 7 has given me an 8. That's a 1, 7 pair. This digit is just known. That's a 9. These 2 digits are now 1 and 8. Well, I mean, that can't be an 8, but I mean, again, if that was 8, that would be 9, that would be 10. So that's the 1, that's the 8. 1 helps me resolve the 7 and 1. It doesn't put a lot of pressure on what's going on in here. It sort of seems to be repeating this pattern for sure. Let's just describe what's going on there. We've got 2, 7, and 9, I'm going to say. That can't be a 2, that can't be a 9. Let's take a look. That 7 gives us a resolution. That's a 9. Is it a resolution? No. 2, 7 pair, both of which work. This is 1, 4, 7. That's not the 1. That's the 1. That's the 4. No, it just means that this is 4 or 7. For a second I was about to say it means that this is a 4. No, it doesn't. Then we know what these are. This is 2, 6, and 9. Different rows. Again, not necessarily resolving any of this. 6 and 9. I've ignored the 17 cage long enough. Let's just think about it. Right, with 9, 6, and 7 gone, if I don't have an 8 in there, the maximum would be 3, 4, and 5, which is only 12. So 8 definitely belongs inside the cage. With then 2 cells that add up to 9, which can only be 4 and 5 from what is remaining. So this is 4, 5, 8 to get 17. That's not the 4. That's not the 8. That's not the resolution I'm looking for. That's a 2. That's a 3, presumably. Seriously, I should be able to do something here. How about 3? Not in this cell. That's 3. This is 5 or 8. It's not an 8. That's the 5. That's the 8. These are not 8s. That's a 4, 5 pair. Still not doing much with it. Right. Yeah, I may have missed the odd trick here or there, but yeah, no, this is a harder puzzle than when it started. So what's the easy things to spot? I say the easy things to spot, but nothing's exactly jumping out at me. We've used all of the variant clues at this point, haven't we? I think we have. All the cages are done. All the thermometers are pencil marked correctly. That is all the variant rules. So yeah, it's just Sudoku. Just Sudoku. 1, 2, 4, 7. We need one more thing. A 9. No. So this is 1, 2, 4, or 7. Doesn't help. This column, 1, 2, 4, 7, and something else, a 6. These two cells, again, doesn't help. What am I looking for? 5, 8. Oh, 4, 7 pair. That helps. 5, 4. The 5 gives me an 8, which gives me a 2, which gives me a 5. If I can type, the 2 gives me a 9. 2, 6 pair, are they resolved? No. What, 4, 7. So this is 2, 6, 2, 6, and a 9, which can't be down here. That's the 9. This is 2 or 6, sadly unresolved. So we have another 1, 7, another 2, 6. Any restrictions? No. I mean, the 6, yes, like gave me a resolution. So we have another 1, 7, and a 6, which can only be in here. And therefore this is 1, 7. This 2 gave me a 7 in here and a 2. It's like Sudoku blindness seems to strike at the most unusual times. You're like doing so well and then suddenly, well, or not so suddenly, not doing so well. 1 gives me a 7, gives me a 4, gives me a 1. The 4 gave me a 7, gave me a 4. And if I've not made any mistakes, that looks like another 7 for the finish. It's a beautiful puzzle. Loved the start and the break-in. Really, really well designed. And hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and video. And see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.